Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Bream Fishing Project. This is going to be a huge episode. We are reviewing the Action Fishing Tournament's grand final. This one was held at Camden Haven on the New South Wales North Coast, October 25 and 26 of 2025. Now, that is a mouthful. This is a cracking event. Before we start getting into that, I'm going to just go back through the calendar from last year, let you know who took out the prizes, and give you a bit of a recap. So let's roll the intros and I'll get straight into that. Here we go.
Welcome to the Bream Fishing Project. This is where you need to be every Tuesday to find out all the latest tips and tricks to help you target bream on lures. You'll get to hear from some of Australia's elite bream competition anglers and see how they were able to achieve their results in competitions around the country. Now, here's your host, the 2019 Hobie Kayak Fishing World Champion, Andrew Deeth.
Okay, so if we wind the clock back to December 15 of 2024, that was round one of the Action Fishing Tournament's 2025 season. This was a cracking event held on the Parramatta River, and it was taken out by Jason Meach in first place, followed up in second place by Rick King, and then, of course, Glenn Allen in a third place. How good is that? Next up, we had round two, which was the mighty Georges River just down the road on the 18th of 1st. However, this round, like this year, just happened now, like right now, was postponed to the 1st of the 2nd. Now, for this particular one, I'm going to read out 1 to 5 and you're going to find out why. So we started off with Jason Reed in first place, Jamie Dempsey second place, Joshua Richards in third place, and then guess who? Andrew Deeth, fourth place. And then rounding out the top 5 was Adriano Tossolini, with Jason Reed taking out the big brim with a 45.5 centimeter brim, which is a cracking brim. So there you go. That was round 2. Next stop, round 3, we're headed off to Pittwater on the 8th of the 3rd in 2025. Now, like round 1, this round was also postponed due to bad weather. And like round 1, round 2, I'm also going to read out the top 5 once again for a very special reason. Yeah, this one was held on the 23rd of March. Now, first I'll read out the thing and then I'll tell you a little bit about it. In 5th place, we had James Scott. 4th place, myself, Andrew Deeth. 3rd place, Nelson Grillo. 2nd place, Jason Reed. And a 3rd place, Jamie Dempsey. Now, this was a round, I think, where I'd fished all day. I'd got rained on in the morning, fished all day, and then pulled 3 fish, I think, in 3 casts maybe. Like on the way back in, it's like I'm going back with a donut. Pulled 3 fish, came in 4th. How good's that? Don't stop casting. Then the next round, they headed off to Tuggerah Lakes. I didn't make it to this one, the 10th of May, 2025. In 5th place, we had Mark Knight. 4th place, Richard Smith. 3rd place, Aaron Enright. 2nd place, Ryan Honeybrook. And in 1st place was Rick King. How good was that? Once again, the big brim went to Ryan Honeybrook with a 43 centimetre out of Tuggerah. Heading into June, the team went up to Woiwoi to compete in round 5. So this one was the 8th of June in 2025. 5th place, once again, Richard Smith on the podium. Adam Layla in 4th place. Carl Dubois, he came in 3rd. 2nd place, Adriano Tossolini. And of course, in 1st place was Joshua Richards, with a total bag of 116 centimeters, including a 42.5 centimeter brim. How cool is that? And of course, the HWS Big Brim Beast Big Brim went to Adam Layla at 47.5. How good is that? Then, of course, we headed off to Brooklyn for round 6 in the 20th of July. And this was a cracking round. And I'm going to read out the last 3 bag sizes. So first, in 5th place, we had Ben Pierce. Jose Lopez in 4th. 3rd place with Glenn Allen with 96 centimeters. So that tells you where the average fish were. 2nd place, John Sharp at 109.5 centimeters. And then in 1st place, Joshua Richards with 131 centimeter bag, which included the Beast Brim of 51 centimeters. How that was just huge. So definitely worth a listen if you want to hear about how to catch a really big brim. head back to the round 6 one. I can't remember when that was released, but it's definitely out there. So the next one was scheduled to be Rose Bay. So that was the 31st of August in 2025, but I can't remember what happened there. They had to reschedule that to Tunks Park. This was another great round, but it was a really, really tough fishing. And I did do a dum-dum, which I'm not going to go through again. But 5th place, Jose Lopez. 4th place, Ryan Honeybrook. 3rd place, Claudio Arujo with a 91 centimetre bag. Trent Rogers back from wherever he's been, 92 centimetres. And then James Tran coming in on time in 1st place, 113.5 centimetres with the big brim, the HWS Beast brim at 46.5 centimetres. Congratulations, James. All right. And to round out the rounds in round 8, they were headed off to Barara Waters with Joshua Richards coming in 5th place, Jose Lopez in 4th, James Tran back on the podium in 3rd place, Warren Allen and Ben Gillespie. He had a standout bag with that one with 123.5. The big brim in that round was an absolute cracker, went to Jose Lopez at 48 centimetres, which was a PB. How good's that? Okay. So that brings us to the grand final at Camden Haven. So it's no secret that every time I go out to fish in a competition, all I want to do is beat Carl. But in this round, in the grand final, what does he do? He takes it out. So look, it's a great story. I'm just going to run through the bite periods and what have you, and then I'm going to play the interviews. It's a really good episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. All right. So on the Saturday in the fish activity wheel, we had 62 with a minor bite period at 7:01 through to 8:31. Low tide was at 4:54 a.m. at 0.22. High tide was at 11:33 at 1.09 meters. On the Sunday, we had 50, so slightly lower in the fish activity wheel. Minor bite period at 7:47 through to 9:17. Low tide was at 5:23 at 0.26. High tide was at 12.07 at 1:06. The only thing I would say about this is, look, Camden Haven is a fantastic system. I actually really like fishing there. The current rips, and when you're in a kayak pedaling against it, it's quite hard. I think the next grand final is going to be in Camden Haven next year, or this year as it is. I think there'll be an electric motor on my kayak just to push against that current. It definitely played into my decision making, which I think I spoke about with Carl potentially, although I recorded these interviews quite a while ago. Anyway, let's get into the angler interviews. Let me know what you thought about the recap. I just did it as I recorded it, so I was a bit disjointed. I hope it came out okay. All right, here we go. All right. Coming up in a 3rd place, we have an angler who dropped 3 fish on day 1. So 38, 37, 37.5, which gave him a total of 112.5 and 4th place. Backed it up on Sunday with a 31.5, a 35 and a 29.5, which gave him an overall total of 208.5 and 2nd place. With me, I have Gareth Goodhew. Welcome back to the show, mate.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate you being called back.
Mate, we've done a couple now, but I don't think we've done a New South Wales round that I can remember.
No, they've always been Gold Coast. Always been my local waterways.
Well, there you go, mate. You've branched down into New South Wales and in what I think is a pretty good venue.
Yeah, me too. Last couple of times down there, I found it a bit tough, but I think I kind of cracked a bit of a code down there this time and made it work for me anyway. So it was good. I really enjoyed it this time around.
Definitely. Well, a good result, obviously. Let's go back into pre-fish and what have you. What did you do on pre-fish day and how did you sort of set up for the comp?
Setting up for the comp, really, I mean, we didn't do too much. We kind of went the opposite direction of where we wanted to hit. I mean, Camden Haven's big, but at the same time, it is small.
Yeah.
We kind of went up one way that we kind of want to just have a kind of an exploration day, see what we look like up the other end, because we headed up towards Queens Lake.
Yeah.
And we found plenty of fish, but I kind of just threw random stuff. Like, I think there was an atomic mullet in like 2-inch or something, and a couple other silly lures I just threw around just to see what was happening. But everything seemed to be actually getting fish, so it seemed like it was quite a bit like the fish were on.
Okay, all right. So how did that prepare you for comp day? Did it teach you anything? Did you learn anything?
Not really. I was just trying to more relax. I think we had a big drive down there. I think it took us 6 hours, and we set up camp. And me and the boys decided let's just go out and cut around and see what we could find.
Yeah,
See what the water was doing, what the currents were doing, things like that more so. Find out if the fish were sitting deep or sitting on the flats. But that was more what we looked into for the day, and leave the spots we actually wanted to hit alone for comp day.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, let's roll into the Saturday. Tell us about what your plan was and how your day played out.
Saturday was basically hit the water, get right up to Watson's Taylor.
Okay.
And then just kind of went to the island that you see as you're cruising up there. And I went to the left of that and just first really looked at top water because there was a lot of action on the surface.
Okay.
I was throwing bents and MMD splash prawns. Had a few fish come up and have a look at it, but only the one take on an MMD. They weren't really wanting the more suppleness of the bent minnow, but they wanted the bit of the action and the scattering on the surface from the MMD.
Yeah, right.
So I got one fish from that and then kind of had to wait for the tide to actually come up high enough so I could get over the flats because it was pretty low that morning.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I find it interesting that I actually thought it was going to be a surface bite, but on the day I couldn't really raise them.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of action up there. I mean, the water was shallow at the time, but I could see fish finning the surface.
Yeah, wow.
So there was plenty around up there. There's just trying to get them to bite was the only problem.
Yeah, right. So how'd you go did you get some early on?
As soon as I got up there, I basically probably threw surface for maybe 15 minutes until I got the first one. And then by that time, the water was actually high enough for me to do what I wanted to do and head behind it and search for weed beds and broken ground and start cranking.
Okay. So then once you sort of moved into that broken ground, did the fish come quickly or was it sort of, how did it play out?
Yeah, fairly quickly actually. As we worked from one side and we were just doing nice long drifts. And I was probably every third or fourth cast landing fish. Yeah, so right. Nothing of great size that early in the morning. It was more the smaller stuff up there I was finding. I couldn't really, it was pretty early on. I had a bag of 27s.
Yep.
And then I was just trying to, just going through 25s, 27s. You get the odd little 15 centimeter brim jumping on.
Yeah.
But not much until I kind of drifted over and found some old racks that were kind of dilapidated, haven't been used in a long time. And that's where I kind of really got into my groove. Found some good fish there.
Okay. And were you using a deep running crank or what were you throwing?
The main ones, so around the racks, I was just going straight through 6 pound and throwing GGBs in a deep. So Ghost Gill Brown from Atomic.
Yep.
And I was also throwing the Jackall Chubby 38s in Muddy Prawn. Brown Suji.
Brown Suji.
Yeah, similar color to the Muddy Prawn from Atomic, but yeah, Brown Suji.
Yeah, right. Go-to. Right. And I take it the idea of that was to bang those bibs into the ground.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously around the bottom of a lot of those, the old racks and things like that, you've got it where all the ground's it's kind of been eaten out and hollowed out or got little eddies down there. So I was kind of really trying to focus on hitting those poles, bouncing off them and seeing what I could stir up or knock something off the pole and just entice the brim to my lure.
Yeah, 100%. Look, you got some good fish. I guess they must have come in the back half of the session.
The biggest fish came on the way back to the start ramp.
Right.
But I did go through a session as we got a bit of cloud cover. It was probably 20 minutes where I probably got 10 fish and all of them were over 32 centimeters.
Okay.
So that's when I got 37 and a half. I got 37. I got a couple 36s and 34s, 32s. And yeah, that was probably just after lunchtime, I think it was.
Yeah, right.
Or no, it would have been closer to 11, sorry, because we had to be back by 2. And it was about a 2-hour hike to get there.
Yeah, it's a long way up there.
It was when the currents were running the wrong way.
Currents ran the wrong way, and we definitely got a bit of wind in your face on the Saturday.
Yeah, there's a few points that got a bit hairy, just trying to wonder whether or not we're going to make it back on time because we kept stopping to have a fish. But at least on the way back, I ran into Alan Parrish and Wade Walker, so we kind of met up and decided to cruise back together.
Yeah, nice.
And I think it was I can't remember Jamie's last name, but I think he got first for New South Wales on the day.
Jamie Cole.
So,
yeah.
That's it. So him and I were having a chat as well. So, good atmosphere, just cruising back. Then look at the time. You're like, we're going to move, boys.
100%. What? I can't remember what kayak are you in at the moment?
PA14 360.
Okay. All right. So look, I'm not sure. Where were you overnight on the Saturday?
4th overall.
You were 4th.
First to Queensland.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. And with that came a little prize, a special prize. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so the boys did a couple of memorial prizes for the first place for New South Wales and the first place for Queensland, for a couple of anglers that have passed away during the years. And I was lucky enough. I didn't even know about it at the time, but yeah, just lucky. The one I got was my best mate that passed away earlier this year. So he was actually out fishing, doing what he loved doing. and then got a few chest pains. And one of our other mates luckily was with him because he likes to go adventure by himself a lot.
Mm.
And yeah, got him to the hospital, and just due to unknown circumstances, he was in hospital and then just passed away. So we just lost him actually at the hospital.
Yeah. Really sad.
So it was a shock. Like, he's just so out there, such a lovable character. Like, if you loved fishing, he loved you. So he was happy to have a chat with anyone, tell anyone where he's going, what he's doing, give hints, tips, and also loved to get in your face and be annoying. So he was good like that. Had his own YouTube channel if anyone followed him. It was Wonky Dog Fishing. So he's still got a bit of stuff up there if anyone wants to check it out.
Very good. So it's Wonky Dog, is that right?
Wonky Dog, yeah. Named after his dog Curtis he had with 3 legs. So
right, fair enough.
There's a lot of Barra stuff on there and a bit of Bream stuff and just mucking around with the boys, really. So it's a good watch. Yeah,
nice. And look, it was a nice touch from the boys at Action Fishing Tournaments, and kind of fitting that you were able to take that award.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's very, very surprising too, because I wasn't expecting it. So I know they said something about it, but to see the big check with his face on it and everything else, that's going up on the wall at home.
Absolutely. All right, let's roll into Sunday. So Sunday was a little bit different, as much that obviously the tides were an hour, or thereabouts an hour later, but we also had a shortened time. We had to be back by 100% back by 12 o'clock, which means Watson's Taylor is quite difficult. Tell us how you went.
Well, I went to Watson's Taylor. So
good on you.
It was actually better because in some ways, because tide was actually, even though it was later, it was a higher low tide. So there was more water actually over the flats up there.
Okay.
So once we got up there, I was actually able to get out and do more. So I decided to just head up there straight up and just pretty much try to copy what I did on day one, knowing that, I was hitting a lot of big fish, and I left a lot of fish when I left there, hoping they'd still be there, but just the numbers were still there, just not the size.
Sure. And you would have only had maybe 2 hours max up there, I'd imagine?
I got up there in an hour and a half.
Yep.
And it took me about 2 hours to get back. So I had about 2.5 or so hours to fish, but that was all I really needed.
Okay.
So, do the miles, get the smiles, see how we go.
Exactly. Did you get fish straight away? Because after paddling that far, you'd be a bit nervy.
I also had to drag the kayak across the sandbar. That was only had enough water to drag the kayak with me out of it. So took a quick push that across about 100 meters of shallow water.
Oh, that's fun.
And then got to my spot, and second cast got the 29.5. So I was like, all right, this isn't going to be too bad a day.
Yeah.
And then it was just 25s, 26s, 27s, 25s, 24s. So I still had my bag quite early, probably by, I had my bag by, what did we leave? We left at 6. So I had my bag by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, right. So still very early.
And then I was just working on upgrading. Yeah, still early.
Okay. And was it the same pattern? Were you still rolling the Jackalls and the Atomics?
I just had to kind of change how I was retrieving them, because the fish were a bit more timid. So I was just trying to work out whether they wanted, after that, if I had a tap, I was just trying to work out whether they wanted like me to give it a little jerk, speed it up, or just pause it. So it kind of worked out that if I just slowed the roll right down, if they just tapped it and didn't take it, I could cast again the same location and just super slow roll through there, and they would take it on the second run.
Okay. Wow.
So they were just wanting something super slow roll. I'd kind of give it that first little bit of, bit of a pump to get it down into the sand, and then just roll it as slow as I could. Yeah, right.
What rod and reel are you running at the moment?
I've got a few different ones. The main one I was using on the day was the Infeet. It's Infeet Z, one of the older models. I can't remember the exact. I think it's a 7/8. So it's one that like Steve Morgan that recommend using for crabs, and a longer, stiffer rod as well. But I just found using that, and I had a TD Sol with the 6 pound straight through, which was the Dawa J Thread Finesse, which you can't seem to find anymore, or they've stopped making it.
Yep.
So I was just running that, and just putting the hurt on them. There's a lot of racks around, a lot of broken ground that they were just destroying me on if I didn't give it to them. So once they were on, I was just peddling them in.
Yeah, I was going to say, with 6 pounds straight through, you got a fair bit of pulling power.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably more than I thought at first. So I've always been a bit more timid to use it, but I was using the heavier braid, and I was just getting pinged on the sharp oysters and whatnot. But yeah, at least that has a bit more give to it. I had a few that wrapped around the poles. I just went over, kind of unwrapped them with the rod tip, and then popped them up. Or there was one that hooked itself into the rope. So I just netted the fish, cut the line, pulled the fish in, retied.
Nice. That's a great effort. All right. And what about, so I think like that establishes the pattern pretty well. What about fish that got away? Did you lose anything that made a difference?
There were definitely 3 or 4 in the racks that just, one wrapped around a pole. I put the rod, actually used the rod tip down the line that he was connected to. And as I was slowly lifting it up, he went around the pole beside it.
Oh.
So that was painful.
Yeah.
And the real one probably was on day 2 on the way back. I was fishing the floating racks, the ones that have the blue barrels down the side.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just throwing, first I was throwing gulp shrimp on just unweighted. So I've just been running like mustard bait keepers.
Okay.
So I've been putting those on, throwing that in, and it was just too slow. The current was just pumping too hard. All it needed was a little bit more weight. So I went with a 132 jig head, and there was one that just was peeling a line. I couldn't stop it. I was like, kind of thought, I'm like, yep, I've got this. And then he just let go. It's like, oh, well, that's fishing.
That is fishing. Never mind, mate.
Yeah, but that would have been probably the biggest fish for me for the weekend, I'm guessing. But there was a lot of current pumping through there. So, for all we know, it could have been another 29 centimetre, and he was just using that current to the best of his abilities.
Yep, that definitely happens. Oh, there you go. All right. Well, mate, it sounds like you had a pretty good comp and you caught certainly enough fish. Tell us, what did you get to take home for third place?
Third place was 400 cash and a Shimano rod valued at $199.
Nice.
Nice little rod. I think it's a 7'8". So I can't pronounce how to say the name of the rod.
So the Artiesta or the Essenza?
No, I think it's the Essenza.
Essenza, yeah.
So it feels like quite a nice long rod. So we might give that a go as a flat rod. See how we go.
Definitely. I'm still using the one I won last year in last year's grand final. So,
okay.
Maybe Angler of the Year. But either way, it was I kind of like it.
Yeah, nice.
Very good.
I am a Daiwa man. Pretty much all my other rods are in feeds except for maybe a Samurai here or there.
Yep.
But it was a very nice feeling rod, so I think I'll give it a crack, see how it goes.
Definitely. All right, mate, last thing before we shoot off, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to?
Well, thank you to the beautiful wife for staying home with our little 2-year-old and letting me go for the weekend. And then thanks to the boys, Alan Parrish and Wade Walker, we travel a lot together when we can, and those guys help out by covering fuel and things like that, accommodation and whatnot. So, without your friends, you can't always do these events because they get expensive. So, no, that's having them there, moral support as well, going out, having a laugh, coming back, hanging on each other, whoever did the best, whoever did the worst. And, just having that support there is good fun.
Absolutely. All right, mate. Well, look, thanks again for coming on the show again. I look forward to having to talk to you next year.
Cool. Also, I just want to thank the Action Fishing guys too for actually bringing this up to Queensland, because we just don't really have anything for the kayakers at the moment. So just having this ability to do this and enter these rounds and get more interest in it to bring down to other rounds and Hobie rounds and things like that as well is really great. So really do appreciate that.
Yeah, very, very good. All right, brilliant, mate. Like I said, hopefully we get to have a talk to you next year.
Sounds good, mate. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so coming in second place, I have an angler who dropped his 3 fish on the Saturday measuring 38, 38 and 36. I put him in 5th place overnight. Then on the Sunday, he backed it up with a 35, a 31 and a 30, which gave him a grand total of 209. And second place, I have Glenn Allen. Welcome back to the show, mate.
Hi, Andrew. How you going?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Mate, looks like you had a pretty decent weekend up there at Camden Haven.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to finally catch some fish again.
Yeah, right.
It's been a bit quiet.
Yeah, mate. So with this one, being a grand final and what have you, what did you do in terms of preparation? Like, did you get up for a pre-fish or how'd you get ready?
No, I tried to get out a couple of weekends before, just on my local, just to try and get a bit of confidence back, because I hadn't been out much at all.
Yeah.
And I knew up there I was going to probably throw cranks.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure I could work something down. And actually the pattern I was catching fish down here actually worked up there quite well. So probably the same time of year.
Okay. What's your choice of cranks at the moment? What are you liking?
I've just started using, or just by luck, I had this one in my box I thought I'd try, which was one of the Berkeley cranks.
Okay.
It's like I don't know the name, but it's a muddy prawn sort of colour.
Mm.
It's got the orange or pink eyes on it.
Okay.
A bit like the Jackall Chubby.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I've been doing well on that. So that was the same lure I tied on up there, and worked quite well.
Worked quite well. Very good. And is it a deep run or a shallow?
Deep.
Deep. Okay. Yeah, very cool. So basically, no pre-fishing the Camden Haven, and you just worked out a bit of a pattern on your local, which is not too far away.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to get you set for the comp.
Very similar up there to Tugger Lakes, I reckon, with like the weed beds and stuff like that. So it suited me well, actually.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, let's roll into Saturday. Tell us about the very first fish you caught, the very first legal.
Yeah. On the Saturday, I paddled up to Watson Taylor's Lake.
Right. Big paddle.
Massive paddle. But on the way up, I fished, hoping I could get a bag before I got there.
Mm-hmm.
I hit the trawlers before the bridge there, and I pulled one straight off there pretty quickly. And then I just kept paddling. I knew I had a big paddle to do, so I just hit a few spots on the way up, a few floating racks, and happened to pick up probably 3 or 4 fish off them on the way up, and pretty much had my bag. They were only small. I think they were around, I think I had a 22, a 31, and maybe another 30, something like that, before I got up to the lake.
Right. So you're on the racks. Were you on cranks or plastics or?
On them, I was just throwing the crabbies with a 1/16 jig head. And I think I even had 10-pound leader on at that time in case I wanted to fish the racks.
Yeah,
and it didn't bother them. So, so I've done that. Pretty quick fish, actually, and then just kept paddling. So the paddle I'd done was, I worked out, was 8 Ks.
Wow. So it's a decent trip.
Yeah, so I didn't take too much time.
With your crabbies, so you're using a 16th. Did you say it was a hidden weight or a jig head?
No, that was a jig head, actually, a 1/16.
Yeah. I was wondering how you got a 16th hidden weight into a crabby without ripping it in half.
Yeah, no, the normal jig head.
Okay, and that would mean you'd be fishing the bottom of the structure as well.
Yeah, I was just throwing it up, letting it sink, doing nothing, and they were just grabbing it on the way down.
Yeah, nice.
I think the water I was fishing was around sort of a couple of meters.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think at that time the tide was just slowing right down.
Yeah, okay.
So I could see the fish, and that's what pretty much made me stop and just throw in, and they pretty much just grabbed it as it sank into the bottom or took it off the bottom.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting because in the time I was up there, I actually didn't see a lot of fish high in the water column. I thought they must have all been deep. So.
Yeah, it was kind of weird though. Seemed to be sitting on the actual ropes with the buoys on them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, something different.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, well, that's a good way to start, mate. Before you hit the lake, you've already got your bag, and it's not a horrible bag.
No.
And then what'd you do then?
I paddled up to that top lake there, and as soon as I got up there, I went to a spot that I fished in on the Hobie round. So I think it was a Hobie Grand Final. I done quite well.
Mm.
And it's just a flat about probably 1 metre, 1.5 metres deepest. Got some patches of weed on it.
Yeah.
Just throwing a deep crank, just digging it into the bottom pretty much, nice and slow. And the fish right up there was like, I think it was fish nearly all day.
Really? Stop it.
Yeah.
You're killing me.
But I stayed up there, and I don't know how many fish I got. I was up there with Carl as well. He was the same. He was braining them. And,
yeah, wow.
Yeah, he had some good fish, and I'm like, you got me this time, Carl. And then he left and went on the other side of the lake somewhere, and I started heading back, and I think I seen you across from me.
Yeah, that's right.
And when I hit that little flat there, was a fisher cast, and
no, stop.
Yeah, and I got 2 38s off there.
No. So just to paint the picture here for the people, we would have been maybe 80 metres apart, not very far.
Yeah, not very far.
Yeah, too far to talk, but probably.
Yeah, I kept looking at you, wondering if you're catching them or not.
Yeah, I got one. Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I pretty upgraded. I think I upgraded my whole bag there, and it was time to go back, and I didn't want to leave. I was having that much fun.
Yeah, right.
So that was it. And then it was a big paddle back that near killed me, actually. I left it a bit late and had to go into that wind and current.
Yeah, it was rough, hey?
Had to do, and when I got back, I could hardly walk that first day. And I was thinking, I don't know, I'm going to do this tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll dial back into that in a minute. I think I probably stopped about 200 metres or 150 metres too short. I should have gone a little bit deeper.
Yeah. They were sitting on where you had the edge. There was like a bit of a channel runs through there.
Yeah.
and I had a sort of drop off and a couple of weed patches, and they're just sitting like right on that tide line.
Yeah, right.
On the weed and that drop off.
Okay.
And the lure was landing and they were hitting off the surface. Like there must have been a lot of fish there.
I bet.
But I fished that spot earlier actually and got a 35 off there and then caught nothing. So I left and then, come back later and the fish were on there. So
fish were on. And did you run the same crank all day?
Yeah, pretty much the same lure the whole time.
Wow.
Still got it. Yeah. All I've done is changed the hooks a few times.
Okay. All right. You made the big paddle back. I remember you've been a bit sore when you got back.
Yeah.
You're in, what do we say, 5th place?
Yeah, I was sitting in a good spot. Always good to be in the top 10 on the first day.
Absolutely.
I'd rather be 5th than 1st, that's for sure.
I know, I'd take 1st every day, mate. Every day. Anyway, the Sunday was with the shorter session time. So we left off at somewhere around 6:15, back at 12. So if you're not back at 12, you DQ. So what was your plan then? What did you do?
Well, me and Carl were having a chat the night before and we're saying we've got to go back there. We know we're going to get a bag there, go back up to that lake and do it all again. And hopefully it pays off. We pretty much headed straight up there, done the paddle. I think we would have only had an hour and a half fishing time. I stopped about halfway up and pretty much done the same thing. I hit a couple of the floating buoys and stuff near the floating racks. I pulled one off there and then nothing. Dropped a couple of fish and then thought I've got to get to this lake. I don't have much time.
Yeah.
I knew there was big fish up there. So I just kept paddling, got up there, fished a couple of poles, pulled a fish off 2 poles. So I had my bag. It was only a small bag at the time. I think I had a 22 and a 31 and maybe a 28 or something like that.
Okay.
And I got up where Carl was, seen him and said, how you going? And he's like, I've got a 36 and 35 or whatever. He had a pretty good bag at that time. I'm like, oh, God. He got me this time. And then as soon as I got there, I got a 35 and I'm like, okay, that's not a bad fish.
Yeah.
Got that and then got a couple of smaller ones and then Carl already had a good bag by then and then the bite just stopped completely. I was tapping it a little bit, but I couldn't hook any. Tried some soft plastics. I was tapping them, wouldn't need them. They just really shut down. And then I think I was there probably, it seemed like about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It was pretty much time to turn around. I wasn't going to do what I'd done the day before and kill myself getting back, so I left a bit of time. And just as I come out of the lake, the prawns started jumping and bait and the fish started really coming on again. I'm like, oh, no, I've got to leave. I picked up an upgrade just before I got out of the lake.
Yeah, okay.
On a flat there on a hurricane sprat.
Yep. Okay.
And then headed back and had a little bit of time when I got back to where the bridge was. And there's a couple of oyster rock poles there. And I ran into Jamie Cole. I seen him there and I picked up another couple of little ones undersized and then I picked up a 31 and upgrade.
Okay.
So I was pretty happy with that, which that fish probably saved me.
Yeah, well, that fish definitely pushed you up into second.
And that was on a little diver crank. I can't tell you what.
Like a rolling crank?
Yeah, a little rolling crank that got the fish there.
Yeah, nice.
But, and that was pretty much my day. It was that quick. It was all paddling and then probably an hour and a half or 2 of fishing, if that.
That's right. So with 8Ks, you're going to be in a lynx, you're going to be a bit over an hour in paddling in a straight run.
Yeah.
And we're against the current.
Yeah.
Both ways.
Yeah, and that wind was coming up about halfway back as well. I don't know. The paddle didn't seem as bad on the second day for some reason.
Okay. Well, it's definitely less wind.
Yeah. I wasn't rushing either, cruising back. So, yeah, it was a pretty easy sort of fishing session. It was really enjoyable, like a lot of fish. Like me and Carl were talking about it and it was like, how many fish you reckon we got? And he's like, I don't know. And I said, yeah, I don't know either. On that Saturday. Sunday was a bit different.
All right. So basically, from what I can understand, you fish around the racks predominantly with crabbies on a 1/12 jig head.
1/16.
1/16, sorry.
Yeah.
And then up the lake on the
Berkeley crank. I'm not sure what the name of them.
Is it a 38B?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been what's it called? I'm not sure the name, but I couldn't tell you the colour of it. But Yeah, it's got the pink eyes on it.
Yeah, cool. Oh, that's right. We'll look it up.
Yeah.
We'll look it up.
And I was running like a pretty long 4-pound leader.
Mm-hmm.
One of my Samaki flats rods.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very good. All right. Well, mate, for coming in second place in the grand final, what did you get to take home?
What was it? 600, I think it was.
600. Very nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty good, and a fishing rod as well. So
yeah, very good. One of the new Shimano ones.
Yeah. It looks pretty good. I think it's like a 7/8, something like that. So
okay, so the long one.
Long one.
Yeah, very good.
Got so.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right, mate.
Really enjoyed the comps. They've been really good.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's been a good wrap up to the year. Camden Haven's a great fishery, and there is plenty of room for people to move.
Yeah. It was funny because me and Carl and Warren, my brother, we all stayed together, same cabin, and we're trying to get the 1, 2, 3.
And what happened?
And Warren let us down, unfortunately.
Oh.
He's a bit upset. Yeah, me and Carl were pretty happy.
1, 2, yeah, take that. Fair enough.
So,
all right, mate. Last thing before we shoot off, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah. I've got to thank James Kilpatrick from Hunter Water Sports. He's been massive support for me over the last few years, or a lot of years. And Samaki as well. They've been looking after me with a few rods and lures over the years and stuff like that. Line, and they've got a lot of new gear out at the moment, so worth checking out.
Definitely a couple of comp-winning lures on the way out now from them. So
yeah, I'm trying to get my hands on a few of those, so we'll see how that goes.
Fair enough. All right, mate. Very good. Look, thanks again for tuning in. Congratulations, and yeah, I'll see you in the next round.
No worries. Thanks, Andrew. Looking forward to it. Tuggerah Lake's coming up.
Tuggerah Lake's December.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Okay, and finally coming in first place, we have an angler dropping his 3 fish on the Saturday, measuring 37.5, 36.5 and 35.5, giving him a total of 109.5 and 6th place on day 1. On the Sunday, he came back with another great bag of 37, 36 and 32, totaling 105 centimetres, giving him a total length of 214.5 and first place. I'd like to welcome back to the Bream Fishing Project, Mr. Carl Dubois.
Oh, how are you, mate? It's good to be back.
Mate, you did it.
Yes, I did. Finally get another win. It's been a few years since I've had a win. I've had seconds and thirds and top 10s, but to get that number 1 spot was good. And I did it at the right comp of the year too.
It's definitely good to win the big ones, mate. I had 1 goal for the weekend. You know what that was?
Beat me?
Beat Carl Dubois. Massive fail. I didn't beat half the field. Yeah.
Next time.
Maybe next time. Maybe next year, mate. You've absolutely smashed me this year.
Well, I'll give you a few lessons if you like.
Yeah, mate. Maybe. Yeah, before you go away again. All right, mate. Let's get into it now. I know you didn't pre-fish, so tell us what you did to prepare for this.
I'd been lucky enough. I fished up there twice before. Now I was in my mind, do I go up to Queens Lake or do I go back down towards Watson Taylor's Lake where I'd fished before? If I'd had a pre-fish, I probably would have tried Queens Lake, but I didn't get to. So I just thought, if the wheel ain't broken, don't fix it. So I thought I'll stick to what I know rather than go exploring during the comp. I figured that the tides weren't great for getting down to Watson Taylor Lake. I think Glenn and I had worked it out. It was about 8.5 Ks to get there.
Ouch.
So pushing there, tides running out, and you're pushing against it. It wasn't too bad on the Saturday. It wasn't that bad because it was just starting to turn. Sunday was a bit harder.
Yeah.
It worked out. So I just wanted to stick to what I knew because I knew there had been fish there in the past. And as it's starting to get warmer, I was hoping they'd be down there.
Okay. All right. So your plan was obviously then to go up to Watson's Taylor. Were you thinking, I'm going to go straight there, I'm not going to get sidetracked?
Yes, that was my plan. Plan was just to head there straight away. But on the Saturday, it was quite warm. There wasn't much breeze. So I'd been going for about an hour and I did look over to, as I was heading down on the left-hand side, there was a nice bank with some trees hanging down and some floating racks. And I just thought, I'll have a quick flick just in there in case there's something hanging around. I did get one small fish off a floating rack and dropped another one. Didn't get anything over the shallows. So I only spent maybe 10 minutes and then kept pushing all the way down to the lake.
Yeah, probably just enough to have a bit of a rest as well, I'd imagine.
That was the main thing because it was in the shade too.
Yeah, very nice.
So
very nice.
It was good.
All right. Well, tell us about getting up into the lake.
So in the lake where I fished before, it's quite an extensive body of water there. It's the main river that comes down. There's flats on the left and there's flats on the right. I ended up fishing both sides of it. Last time I was up there was quite a few weed beds, but this time it's quite patchy. And the water was still murky, so I really couldn't see the weed that much. Every now and then you'd be, because you're only fishing in like a metre of water, if that. But I picked my area that Glenn and I had both done well last time and just started off there. And literally, I think first cast, I got a bump. And then, can you hear the dog barking in the background there? Stupid dog. Oh, no. Go back. I think first cast, I got a bump and it was literally 4 casts in a row and I was getting whacks and hits and no hookups. And then finally, one hooked up. And it wasn't a big fish to start with. It was probably about a 30.
Sure.
But I figured they're here.
Okay.
That was nice. No one else there at that stage. I had the whole place to myself.
Yeah, right.
Which is good to be able to look a kilometre in each direction and there's no one else there.
Yeah, right. And what did you start with? Did you start with plastics, hard bodies, or what were you throwing?
I started with cranks. Just I wanted to explore. I had spoken to a few people and they'd said that they thought there was a bit of a prawn bite.
Yeah.
And so I had planned to throw, I think the ProLure, the hybrid shrimp, I think it is, and their clone prawns. I did have one rigged up straight away. But just to explore and start off with, I thought I'd start with a crank. Even though it was only a metre deep, I had a deep diver. It's a pattern that I paint myself. It's like a bluegill, I call it, which has done really well up there before. So I thought that's what I'm going to start with.
Yep.
And basically that was, straight away, started catching fish.
Okay. And what were you throwing on? You on straight through? You on braid leader?
So no, I'm throwing, it was a braid with leader, Gosen 10-pound hard, I think is what I've got rigged up. Yep. And Seaguar 4-pound fluoro. It's my leader. Okay. Not a overly long, probably just 1.5 rod lengths.
Yep.
A leader. I put some of the Shine Away product on it just to help.
Yeah, nice.
And then I was just punching in long casts with the wind, getting out as far as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And just a slow roll, bringing it back in. Every now and then you'd mix it up and you'd do a bit of a twitch retrieve or a bit of a pause. So there was nothing that stood out as they just wanted anything.
Yeah, right. So would it be fair to say that the bream were biting more location-based than anything else? Like you had to have your cast in the right spot rather than a specific technique?
Yeah, even though I was throwing that one lure, I reckon I did change lures as I went through the day just to mix them up. Fish were coming on all those lures. So I think it was just a matter of the fact that the fish were in the area amongst the weed beds. Just get that lure out. I was doing different retrieves. I was doing just slow rolls or twitches and pauses, and they just would hit it.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. So you reckon you got like 18 or so legals?
Yep.
And you've got a video. Where can people look at that on you? Well, like what's your...
So I have a YouTube channel, Carl Dubois Fishing. Anybody searches that up, I only released it yesterday. It's a bit of a longer video. It's about 35 minutes, but it covers both days, shows all the lures that I use, just covers everything. I didn't put every single fish that I caught in there.
Yeah.
Just the main ones. So, but everything's in there. I cover the gear that I use. You see the techniques that I'm using fishing. You'll see Glenn Allen lurking around in the background. You know, he likes to push in on people's spots. You know, he's always doing that. You know.
Fair enough. Did I get a cameo?
You get a mention. You do get a mention at the end because when you were doing some video and I said, thanks, Deethy. So that was about it. I think I edited you out. You were in it quite a bit, but I did do some pretty tricky editing.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah,
I would have put someone else in there.
Yeah.
All right. So look, you ended up with, what did we say, 109.5. Sounds like you had a pretty good day. You probably had sore legs. And what did we say, 6th place overnight? Yeah,
6th place overnight. So Glenn and I were fishing in the same area. I did see another couple of anglers 500, 600 metres away. I think you might have even been down that area as well.
Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah. You just should come down another 100 metres or so. You would have been on the money.
It would have been on it, yeah. Glenn gave me a one-finger wave and kept going.
Yeah, that'd be right. But the wind had died right off, and I just felt that we needed a bit of wind. So I thought I'd leave and I'd go to a rock wall that I know has been pretty good. When, of course, as I got halfway, the wind came up again. I did pick up some more fish, no more upgrades. But in that time, Glenn, I think, got another 2 upgrades. He was just in front of me on I think, on 112. And I think Warren Allen was on 113. Then James Tran was in second with 115. And then Jamie Cole was first with 116, I think.
Yeah, and you missed the Queenslander, Gareth. He was
Gareth. He was in fourth. He was in fourth. He was just in front of Glenn with only half a centimetre or something, I think.
That's it. There's a joke there, but we'll leave it alone. So you're 6 overnight. What were you thinking? What was the plan for leading into Sunday?
We had a shorter day on Sunday, so I was thinking, do I go back down there knowing that I'm against the tide again and it's going to be a bit tougher to get there?
Yeah.
And I would probably only have maybe an hour and 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours of fishing time. But I knew the fish were there. But in the back of my mind, I also know, I know that Jamie Cole and James Tran had done well in the floating racks and in structure. And you're thinking, what do I do? What do I do? Anyway, I decided I'm going to go back to that spot. There was plenty of fish there. There was no one else there. I didn't think anybody else would make that travel. But on the way, Glenn and I we were halfway there, and Glenn said to me, "Oh, look at all those cormorants over on those floating racks." He goes, "There's got to be fish over there." And they did look good. And I went, "I don't know." And he goes, "I'm going for it." So he left. And I was very tempted because I'm thinking, well, Glenn knows what he's doing. So, but I thought, no, I want to stick with my plan and get there, which worked out in my favour because as soon as I got there, I think third cast, I got a 36 tipper. Same thing, just using the same cranks that I'd been using the day before.
Sure.
And my bigger fish all came in that first half hour. And then sure enough, over the horizon comes Glenn Allen.
Right.
And he goes, "Are they here?" And I go, "They're here, but the big ones aren't here anymore." So, it worked out well for me. I was lucky. Stick to my plan and it worked.
Yeah. So you only had, how much time did you say you had in the end, like fishing up there?
About an hour and 45 minutes.
You had an hour and 45 minutes.
I left to come back with 2.5 hours because I knew I had a pretty good bag. I knew day 2 would be tougher for everybody. And I figured that gives me plenty of time to get back. I don't have to kill myself. And I could fish on the way. On the way back, I did pick up probably another 3 or 4 fish, but they were only like 32s or 33s. There was no upgrades to my bag. I think actually the 30s and 32s, so no upgrades. But I made it back with plenty of time and was hoping that 105 would be enough. I was hoping it would keep me in the top 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I figured I know that Jamie and James and Glenn and Warren and also Gareth, I think any of us could have taken it out. And I was lucky enough to get the bigger fish.
I think so. I think you're exactly right that anyone in that top probably 6 or 7, all they had to do was get the right fish at the end of the day and they would have been fine.
Oh, Tyson got a 43, I think.
That's right. Yeah, Tyson made a big jump.
A huge jump. That's an awesome fish. And James Tran had got a 42.5 the day before.
Yep.
Jamie and James are getting better and better every year. They're always up there. They're quite skilled fishers. So, it was nice to beat those guys. Hey, Glenn, beat him all the time. That's not a problem,
Exactly. I mean, what was interesting is you ended up winning by sort of 5.5 centimetres. So, a reasonable margin, which surprised me.
Yeah, I thought it might have been closer. I mean, when you're talking about 5.5 centimetres, it's not much. But in generally, if you're only getting 3 fish per day, I was pleased. I thought it would have been a little bit closer.
Yeah, very good, very good. All right, I think that probably covers the fishing pretty well. The only thing I would say, first of all, did you use any scent at all?
I did have some squidgy S-Factor, I think, some old stuff, but I really didn't. I might have put it on a couple of times, but I don't think it really mattered. I think just having the cranks and then the water was still quite murky.
Yep.
So I think that played in my favour. It was nice and overcast at the start of day 2.
Yep.
Which is why I think those bigger fish might have been around. There was still a little bit of bycatch. There were flatties and some whiting.
Some whiting, yeah.
But plenty of bream around, yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice, completely different to Wallaga and Burrow Lake. So it was nice to go out and catch more than one fish.
And catch some fish. And I mean, the other interesting thing is now this is the third grand final talk I've had. Like in terms of different events, there's two of them have been one with Shine Away on.
Yeah.
So very interesting.
I put it on at the start thinking, it's the first time I've used it. Did it make a difference? I can't judge off one thing, but it definitely didn't hurt. I know that much.
That's exactly right.
So why not put it on? And especially I think in summer when you get clearer water, I think it'll make a huge difference.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe in the hacking where we can't catch them anyway.
Yeah. Now, the other thing, I threw soft plastics for about 10 minutes and surprisingly didn't get a fish on a soft plastic. So I went straight back to the cranks. It might have just been in a bad period. I did get a good one on a vibe, which is just a slow hop, and it just crunched it and picked it up off the bottom. That was one of my better fish. I think that was a 37 tipper that I got. So they were good CPR fish, catch photo release fish, because they were nice and long and fairly skinny fish. None of them were overly heavy.
Sure. Well, there you go. Well, mate, all in all, it was enough to bring you back with a grand final win, which is pretty hectic. Tell us, what did you get to take home for winning?
So I get a massive novelty check.
It was rather large.
It was huge, yeah. It was great. $1,000 cash, which was in my bank account within about 10 minutes.
Nice.
So thank you very much. So that was spent by the wife before I got home.
Yep.
I also got, thank you very much, Shimano. I got one of their, I think it's the Artiesta series of rods. I think it's an 8'2" or 8'6", which is great. I really wanted a nice long rod there. So that's one of their top of the range rods. And also like a soft plastics bag. So $450 worth of kit. So thanks very much. All the sponsors have been fantastic this year. It's great to see the competition growing and getting better and better. And I think we need to reward the companies. Now I have to go buy a new Shimano reel to go with my Shimano rod. Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yep.
Shame the money's all been spent.
Well, it's all been spent. Yeah. But my gear, on the rods that I use, the Gladiator Tackle, they're the Cyborg IMAX Nanos.
Yep.
7'6", 1 to 3 kilo. Shimano Stratic FGs 2500, and the Gosen 10 pound with a 4 pound Seagull leader. I didn't need to go lighter. That Seagull, I love it.
Yeah, okay.
It's great, strong stuff. I had some good flatties that had wolfed the lures right down, still held together. It's quite abrasion resistance. So,
very good.
Loving it. And of course, I did get my first fish on the bait breath rocking crab.
Oh, there you go.
Around the structure, they're great. I didn't throw them.
They are a good little crab.
Yeah, really good.
Very good, mate. Aside from Gladiator, is anyone else you want to give a shout out to?
There's obviously Hunter Water Sports, James Kilpatrick. Everybody knows him. James has been very helpful to me in the past and continues to be so. So a huge shout out to them. Obviously, all the sponsors from AFT and the guys running these comps for us. For me, sometimes a bit time poor. These one-day comps are great.
Mm-hmm.
I can't always get away for a weekend, so it's great to do. Yourself for putting these out, because I guarantee you every Bream Fisher that is travelling anywhere, what are they doing? They're listening to your podcasts, mate. So you're doing a great job here. It's an invaluable resource. So a big thanks to you.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
And also a bit of lightness and brevity, and also the monthly catch-ups that you have with Brett. He's good. I don't know about his singing. That may be a bit dodgy, but yeah.
His singing's wonderful.
Yeah. Beautiful stuff.
Oh, there you go.
That's it. And also, obviously, Natalie, my wife, she lets me escape and do these things. And yeah, it's a bit. When I got home, she said, "It's about time you won some money." So that gets me a few more brownie points for next year.
That's it. Absolutely. All right, mate. Well, look, as always, a pleasure to speak to you. Look, congratulations on not just a good final, but I think you've had a pretty good year. So well done.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
And we'll talk to you again soon.
No worries, mate. Have a good time. See ya.
Okay, so there you have it, everybody. Look, congratulations to Carl. What a fantastic competitor. He's got a great YouTube channel for those who haven't seen his stuff. He's also got his own line of cranks in just limited numbers. So if there's something you're looking for, find Carl on Facebook or Instagram, send him a message and see if you can get your hands on some of those. His artwork is particularly good. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. Look, that's it for Action Fishing Tournaments 2025. Definitely
if anyone's looking at getting into kayak fishing, kayak competition fishing, this is a great place to go. They've got the mid-coast rounds now, in Brisbane and also Sydney. So definitely jump on that. Super competitive, lots of fun, and a great group of guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll talk to you next week on the Bream Fishing Project.
Thanks for listening. Hopefully you were informed, inspired, and entertained. If you were able to learn something or just enjoyed listening, please consider subscribing and rate us on your favourite podcasting platform.